Strap in and be prepared.
Maybe I'll learn from your failures.
That is what you could do.
Yeah.
Interesting guests.
Kelly Graves, Mike Parker, Josh Pate, George Reiser, Ryan Lee, Yogi Roth, who said that Justin and I are smart.
Sharp opinions.
I think Dan Lanning sitting in his office going, you know what, fine, give us the toughest road to win the national championship. That's what it should be.
Oregon State in their baseball program is still operating from a position of strength, even if they're independent. But here they are in the College World Series.
And some smiles.
It's iconic.
We're not keeping score, but maybe we're keeping score.
The fastest 60 minutes in sports is on the air. It's Danny Havel.
When I wake up every morning, I say to myself, what can I do to make Baby J's life better today?
Justin Grossweiner.
Have I ever told you, Danny, that growing up I really loved ducks?
Danny and Justin starts now on Fox Sports Eugene and Newport.
Hello, neighbors, and welcome high atop the Delta Tri in the Crystal Palace, the Bigfoot Beverages Studios in Eugene and Newport. This is the fastest 60 minutes in sports talk. You're locked in to the Danny and Justin radio program. Follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky, Danny and Justin. Pod us wherever you pod. You call up Danny and you spell out the and, Danny and Justin on wherever you pod, and lo and behold, there we are. In fact, when you do that on, I did it today, on iHeart, we popped up first on the podcast. I don't know if it's because it saved it on my phone or not. No, actually, I did it on a computer. I never had gone and looked for it before. So we're there. You just have to look and find us. Thanks for tuning in, friends, wherever you're listening in the Willamette Valley and on the coast, in Newport at 92.7 FM, down here in the Valley at 102.9 FM. This is Danny and Justin. I'm Danny. Right over there is my tag team partner, Justin Grossweiner. We call him Baby J. What a boy.
Well, I just want to take a second and appreciate that first little moment there. It's been a while since you did
I decided
really
to do a long one.
Long Hello Neighbors. So
busted that one out today.
Yeah.
Just kind of felt like, it's a feel thing with me. And I think I wanted to delay as long as possible bringing you on because I didn't want to hear about Jed Hoyer again.
Listen, I've got I can turn the switch, man.
The last 3 or 4 minutes before we get on the program, it's, hey, you know about Kyle Schwarber? Hey, he's an MVP candidate. Hey, you Darvish is great this year. Hey, thanks, Jed Hoyer, for all those great trades that you made.
When's Owen Casey coming?
You know what? People should give me some empathy that I have to sit and listen to this on almost a daily basis, especially if other players that the Cubs have traded away are doing well.
Well, it's only because you're a Cub fan.
You've got an encyclopedic memory when it comes to things like that. And as I said the other day, even if the Cubs win a World Series under Jed Hoyer's tutelage, you will still hold it against him. You will still
hold that against him.
You're not going to hold that against him, but you will still say he's not the greatest general manager ever. He's not.
No.
That's it. So that's, again, I do appreciate that part of you. Sure. By the way, I was on a phone call with some of my business partners today, and I was wearing my Cubs hat like I am right now, which you can't see unless we had our YouTube channel up, and then you could see it. You're wearing a different kind of Cubs hat today. I can't believe the Cubs lost to the Reds last night, and I can't believe that Dansby Swanson did not touch first base. Okay, I'm over that now. There's a group that we're going to be selling into that is based in Green Bay.
Oh, cool.
So they're like, do you want to come out and kind of toast off our big kickoff to this thing? And I said, absolutely. And they're like, well, aren't you a Chicagoan? I said, no, I was born and raised in Chicago, but I'm a Packers fan. I said, I'm a shareholder in Green Bay.
I'm an owner.
I am an owner. And they were like, how? So I have to tell the whole story.
I know.
Every time I have to tell the story.
Listen, I understand, and I'm one of the only people that you probably know that understands.
So, but I mean, if I get a trip to Green Bay out of it, absolutely. I said,
I've never been.
Can we do it, during the football season? I said, I'll be there. I'll make a long weekend of it, come in on a Thursday. You'll know before that happens. All right, so on the program today, we continue our tour of high school football. We've had a couple of coaches on already from the 6A and the 3A ranks, and now we'll travel back to the 6A. It'll be Tyler Martell from Sheldon High School in I think it's his second or third year now. I think it's
second year.
Second year. So another second-year coach. Actually, the third second-year coach in a row, right? Because we had Josh Line at Willamette, and then Tyler Martell.
Second year at their program.
Okay.
Is the right way to put it, I guess.
I guess that's right.
He, of course, succeeded Josh Line
at Sheldon. So coming off a season that ended in the semifinals last year in the playoffs to West Lynn. They were undefeated up to that point.
That was.
Yeah. And so we'll see what he's got coming back. So we'll talk to the coach here in a little bit. We'll have our news and notes. I do want to, we tabled this the other day, I do want to talk about the NCAA putting aside expanding the NCAA basketball tournament, March Madness, for a moment. They're pausing it. They didn't say it's not going to happen, and I think the inevitable is going to happen. It's going to expand because they're going to want to grab as much money as they can. I think there's a way they can frame it that will be a little bit less egregious, but I know you don't like it at all. So we'll
I don't like it at all.
Well, I just say so. We'll talk about. We'll kind of hash that out a little bit, and then also we're into the last month of summer officially now. What is it? The 5th of August. So we've got 25 days. I'm sorry,
Sad,
but
it's my favorite
it's
time
true.
of year.
So the summer has flown by for a lot of us. So is there something that you want to do? And I'm going to throw it out to everybody. We might open up the phones if we can. I don't know. We'll see. Is there something you still want to do between now and Labor Day that you haven't been able to do this summer yet that you want to do? Because I know I've got something that I want to do before the end of summer. So I think people will start thinking about that now. You know, how many we're counting weekends now, and we're literally 3 weekends away from Oregon football back at home against Montana State to open up the season on August 30th. So, I mean, that's literally, it is right around the corner. So, we'll talk about that in the program as well. You're
just giving me more anxiety.
As we whisk you away. No, you're going to be doing something fun. You're going to go back to Alaska.
No, I know.
As we whisk you off to your plane today as you head to the Great North and Alaska tonight. What time do you land this evening or morning? Is it going to be morning?
It will be the next day, so it's going to be 12:30 a.m. on
that's
Wednesday
not
morning.
Horrible.
It'll be like 1:30 in the morning.
So
here.
is it?
No, it's not bad.
Is it like light all the time up there now?
It's not going to be light up all the time now. So the 21st
Mostly, though.
was it'll still be very light for sure. It's going to be
it gets like dusky at like between 2 a.m. and like 5 a.m.
I don't think it's going to be 24-hour anymore. I think there is going to be a little bit of actual darkness, but it's very minimal. And we're at the point now where it's adding minutes each day. I think it's like 7 minutes of sunlight each day.
You got me there. I have no idea.
So it's going to definitely be longer than it is here. I guess at this point in Oregon, it's what, 8:39 where it's starting to get dark?
Yeah, it's still stretching out there.
So I'm guessing it's going to be closer to like 11. I mean, I could look if you want, but it's going to be closer to like 11.
We'll circle back to it because we're going to be saying goodbye to you, and you'll be gone the rest of the week and then back on Monday.
Packing, by the way, for a wedding in Alaska is a very weird venture.
Aren't you already done packed?
No, I am, but I'm just saying that I have to prepare for a lot of different things.
How big's your suitcase? You got to check it?
It's a full size. Yeah,
okay,
I'm
so you
have to check
the suitcase.
But in terms of just nice clothing, but then also if it's getting cold at night, which it's going to do more so than it is here, it's more temperate here.
Taking that into account.
It's also still going to be like 75 during the day. So it's a lot of different hats. No pun intended.
So you're changing planes. No, you're not changing planes at all.
Flight. Nope.
Okay, good.
Love that.
I was going to watch to make sure your bag gets on the plane. I don't want to cause you any anxiousness, but you always should travel with a bag that has, if you have any medications, you put it in that bag that you carry on the plane with you. Always extra change of clothes in a backpack or something that you take on the plane with you. I can't stress that enough if you travel anywhere, especially if you're going to be changing a plane somewhere. Please, 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 because there's still some summer travel left, and as you head to the fall when you start following Oregon or Oregon State football around the country, pack an extra pair of clothes in a bag that you're carrying on.
So I was pretty much right on the money. It's going to be sunset at 10:45, which I'm assuming means that the sun is actually down, but there's going to be a period of time where it's not completely black.
Gotcha.
And so 11 o'clock,
This is Alaska,
maybe?
By the way.
Alaska,
we're not talking about the Oregon coast.
Yeah, so it's going to be dark when I get there, but it'll be fun. I'm really excited to go back up there.
Good. And the wedding is Saturday?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So is it a middle of the day wedding or an evening wedding? We didn't talk about this much.
I haven't looked that far ahead.
You have no idea. You're in the wedding.
I've got like 3 things that I'm looking forward to before the actual wedding.
You're not getting married, but you're in the wedding, for crud's
sake,
My
head says like 6. I don't know.
It's going to be point and go. You go there, be here at this time, and they're going to tell you that morning.
The flow. That's just how I roll.
Oh, Baby J, I swear to God, sometimes I don't know about you. Sometimes let's do news. This is the way he pivots to try and get off of talking about him. As we go to news and notes.
I want you to go first.
All right, Boston Celtics signed Chris Boucher. The former Duck. The Celtics sign Chris Boucher the same day after they trade Georges Niang And I think he went to, the Jazz. He went to Utah.
Went back to Utah. Okay.
Went back to Utah. So it's a one-year deal from Chris Boucher. Kind of surprising that it took this long for Boucher to get a deal, but it's a one-year deal. He's 32 years old. Last 7 seasons with the Raptors, 6'9", is going to really help at depleted Celtics front court. Averaged 10 points, 4.5 rebounds, 50 games for the Raptors last season. He did not start. All of it was off the bench.
Yeah, he's still a really good player. I think it's a weird year for the Celtics. They're kind of just throwing spaghetti at the wall, I think, and seeing what sticks.
I love that.
So maybe he's going to be a guy that sticks.
My grandfather used to throw it on the ceiling, by the way, and if it fell down, then it wasn't done yet.
That's some
interesting stuff. Yeah, it is.
Alex Ovechkin is going to partner with a technology company on movie rights, which is going to be a movie or series about his NHL career. Mm-hmm. So this is a Russian technology company. So this isn't going to be on Netflix, Danny. It's going to be
no
the company
propaganda involved
Yandex.
There at all.
No, definitely not. And the actual streaming platform is called Kanopiosk. Or something
Very
like
good.
that.
I saw this story and I ran away from it.
You ran away from it?
Yeah,
I think it's kind of interesting. And so he is obviously the all-time goal scorer. He broke Wayne Gretzky's career goal record of 897 in the final season of his contract with the Capitals. And he's going to be 40 next month. So he's going to reach the end and he's going to get some Russian propaganda.
And interesting that he has not been more popular as being the most prolific goal scorer. Ovechkin never really, I think, resonated on a basis that the NHL wanted him to be kind of like the face of the NHL for whatever reason, whether it was were there
other guys that just sort of took that mantle?
Well, he had Sidney Crosby for a long time and others that were more, North American based, I think is where it was. So it's interesting nonetheless. All right, so close to home, Rob Mullins, the athletic director of the Ducks, has been named the National Football Foundation and College Hall of Fame University winner of the 2025 John Toner Award. He'll be honored at a dinner in Vegas at the Bellagio on December the 9th. Rob Mullen named as the winner of this award in his tenure, of course, helping produce Campbell Trophy Award winners Bo Nix and Justin Herbert. It was first presented in 1997. It recognizes the athletic director who has demonstrated superior administrative ability and shown outstanding dedication to college athletics, particularly college football, of course. If the NFF is giving it away, it's going to be football-centric. So congratulations, Mr. Mullins.
Teddy Bridgewater has signed a contract with the Bucks. Can you believe that he's only 32 years old, Danny?
So what's crazy is he was in the news for the wrong reasons or right reasons because of what he was doing with high school football players, giving them, a leg up, paying for Uber rides and meals, and it was like frowned upon within the school district. So go ahead.
Well, so he signed a contract with the Tampa Bay Bucks, and I guess the Bucks have been having some backup issues, I guess you would call, with health at a quarterback position. Michael Pratt was dealing with a back injury, as well as Baker Mayfield missed a couple practices with a contusion in his right throwing hand. So signing Teddy Bridgewater, who's come out of retirement, I believe, twice now. I think he technically retired before this. I know he retired before he signed with the Lions last season. He did have one pass in the playoffs, no stats in the regular season. But I think that's a guy that I want to see him stay healthy. This is a guy that's from what I understand, everybody thinks he's a really great dude, and he's had injury problems throughout his career, and I just want to see him stay healthy.
Well, in a couple of weeks, Shadur Sanders is going to be available, so maybe he can go down there and help back it up
quarterback,
as well.
Shadur Sanders?
Absolutely. Augusta National is, of course, the mecca of golf, home of the Masters, and it already has a state-of-the-art Burkham's Place right off the fifth fairway for high-end Masters patrons, not pastries. It also has the Map and Flag, another hospitality option across the street on Washington Road. But now here is a new way to go see the Masters. If you got a little jingle in your pocket that you want to get rid of, there's a brochure now. It's offering a host home for $45,000 to $100,000 for a week. Has private transportation for $15,000, a weekly driver, and an SUV or Sprinter van. There's also a full-scale program which includes a host home and a sleeper home. Don't know what that means. Daily cleaning and fresh linens, transportation, pantry stocking, full-time staff member, catering, and tee times at local area golf courses. Plus, of course, the 20% fee. You know how much it'll cost you for the week, Baby J?
I don't know.
$219,600. There you go.
This is great. So the Seattle Kraken mascot, Bowie the Sea Troll, recently had a close call with a bear while fly fishing with the team at Alaska's National Park, which is by Kodiak, by the way. I had to look up where this was, but there's a lot of bears in Kodiak, so this isn't necessarily surprising. So there's a video, and the team social media actually shared it, where a grizzly bear could be seen charging at the mascot and a couple of other players and just staff on the team, I believe, some guides. So it was Kraken center John Hayden, who he kind of speaks in the video and talks about them in this encounter, and you can actually see the bear when he is charging the mascot, and it's just this weird moment of like, oh yeah, no, this is, and let me tell you, it's the wilderness. Like, this isn't, I mean, I've lived there for 10 years. It's not the kind of place you want to just go get lost, because you could legitimately not come back. And so kind of a funny video, but in terms of the actual danger, like, there was some real danger with this mascot and some of the other players that were there. So luckily they were able to run away across the river while the bear kind of lost a little bit of interest. But man, you want to talk about
we're chuckling about it now, but there is a very thin line between tragedy and comedy in this whole thing. So that's the only reason we're chuckling about it now.
Tragedy equals comedy.
Right. Time plus, time with, got it. Good. All right, there's your news and notes. They mean Justin radio program. By the way, Chase Cota, we were talking about the Browns a little earlier with Shooter Sanders probably being available in a few weeks. I say that tongue-in-cheek. Who knows what's going to happen?
You don't actually think that.
It might. Kenny Pickett's back throwing in the Browns camp. Joe Flacco looks like he's number one.
And who did they just sign again? They signed somebody else, too.
Yeah, they signed they signed a fifth quarterback. I have no
It was somebody that actually, like, is a name, too.
Look it up as well.
Huntley. Brett Huntley.
Oh, yeah, Ty Huntley used to had Brett. No.
Oh, sorry, it was Tyler
Ty Huntley.
Yeah, they showed.
See, I was right.
You're right. That's Pro Bowler Tyler Huntley.
So Chase Cota, who we had at draft night up at the club at Autzen during the O Club's draft night extravaganza. Chase, who was working out and getting himself maybe ready, he was just like, I'm going to put my name out there. Well, he's been at Browns camp now for over a week, and he's making some waves. So the people who are covering the Browns, all the media and such, I'm seeing a lot of videos of Chase Cota floating around on the Twitterverse, who looks pretty good, and people are impressed by Chase. So, good on him. I mean, a little bit smaller guy, but listen, Julian Edelman wasn't the biggest guy in the world. So I'm just saying, and we'll be following Chase, hopefully, and we've got his contact information.
He's
so if he makes the team,
though. Not the thickest guy. Like,
okay, that's what I meant to say. He's wiry,
100%.
So, but we'll watch and see how Chase is doing as they go through the season. So let's take our first break. When we come back, it will be the head coach of the Sheldon Irish in the Southwest Conference of the OSAA 6A ranks. Football is around the corner. Sherwood Jamboree on the 29th for Tyler Martell's Irish. We'll talk to the head coach of the Sheldon football program next here on the Danny and Justin radio show. Got a great deal for you right now at the Back Nine Golf on Coburg Road in the Sheldon Plaza right there next to Safeway. It's the August Advantage membership discount. Anyone who signs up as a member in August gets 10% off their discount membership for life. Now, when we get busy in the fall down there, so you hit September, discount goes away, and you won't be able to take advantage of it. So use the code August10 right now. Get priority booking for Tee Times 24/7 access. All of the amenities down there at the Back Nine. Go to it right now. August10 is the code. Type that out when you check out. You get your membership 10% off for life. Somebody who does not have time to go play golf right now, even if it's 24/7, as we join him over in the Oregon Man Clinics hotline at 541-343-5673. It's the head man of the Sheldon Irish, Tyler Martell, joining us, former defensive coordinator, now the head coach in his second year at the helm?
Second year at the helm.
And you're doing everything. We just interrupted you. Are you washing and sorting the jerseys?
We're washing jerseys, getting coaches' gear organized. I gotta go gas up the activity bus here. We're going up to South Salem for a 7-on-7 here tonight. So there's never a dull moment. You're right. I'd like to get the sticks out and head down and play a little golf, but I just don't think that's in the works.
Well, it's right around the corner from you, and it is 24/7 access. You hook me up, I'll hook you up. How about that?
Yeah, I like it.
All right, Coach. Well, last year, a really, really nice season. Obviously, undefeated through the regular season, get into the postseason, and then you run into Westland in that semifinal game, in a tough game. You lose by 7 points. So let's talk about the jumping-off point from last year to this year with this squad. Who do you like coming back right now on your squad that can really help lead this program back into the fray?
Yeah, we graduated a ton of guys from last year. So to me, it's one of the things that's really exciting is who is going to step up into those roles. Because really we have two guys back that played significant time last year in Cameron Gilhuber and Cameron Thomas. And both those guys are going to be really good. Gilhuber has had an unbelievable offseason and picked up the defensive MVP at the San Jose State camp. So we're looking for him to be a huge playmaker after making a ton of plays for us last year.
And you mentioned how many seniors you had leave you last year, and man, it was a really good class, and you guys had a great season, almost averaging 49 points per game. I'm just curious about that last group and how they impacted this group this season in 2025.
Well, I hope that our guys now kind of took a page out of last year's group and just about how hard they worked, and they kind of kept their mouths shut and put their nose to the grindstone. So last year's group was really, really special, and now, like I said, which guy is going to step up and fill those shoes?
And for you personally, we kind of already mentioned this, year two, what's sort of the change now? Is it kind of just a bit more comfortable? You know what to expect now? What's the sort of difference between year one and now you're in year two?
Well, I guess there's a little more comfort, but the reality is I've been here for a long time.
Sure.
This is year 17 on our coaching staff, and then 4 years playing here before that. So I'm as comfortable here as I ever have been doing anything in my life. Like we mentioned earlier, now I just got to do a lot more behind the scenes stuff. It's stuff that most people aren't beating down the door to do.
It's Tyler Martell joining us, the head man at the Sheldon Irish football program. They get into it, a jamboree in Sherwood to round out the month of August, and then right into the fray in the Big 6A, and some changes in the 6A. And Special District 1, some changes on who you're going to play. McNary drops out. North Salem stays in. So talk about the conference top to bottom for you, because you're seeing a couple of new teams this season.
Well, I think that the conference will be more competitive this year than it has. And I think, last year we were just really good, and so our games weren't as competitive. But you saw how good the teams in our league were with North Medford, South Medford playing in the final of the kind of the 6A bracket. So I like our conference as competitive from top to bottom, and there's not many weeks where you can take any days off because you'll get beat on a Friday night.
So obviously I'll address the elephant in the room because everyone wants to talk about it anyway, especially because of where we're at. Willamette enters the Special District 1. So, I mean, there's going to be an instant rivalry that can be generated there because over the years it seems like the Irish have kind of been on an island in terms of geography, having a rival to play against in league. So I guess you would kind of welcome this, wouldn't you?
Well, I think any time you have these local rivalries, it's good. Our kids grow up playing local football, and then they get to high school and they don't play those kids they grew up playing against. So I think the more teams we can play from the Eugene-Springfield area, the better it is just for athletics in this area in general.
So, Coach, I think a lot of people would point towards, the high-powered offense that you displayed last year, but I want to talk about the defensive side of the football because you guys were absolutely smothering. And until that West Lynn game in the semifinals, you hadn't given up 20 points, if I'm correct, all season long. So talk about your approach on the defensive side of the football and what you want to try and accomplish this year.
Hey, I like that you want to talk a little defense.
Yeah.
For us, it's always been to keep things really simple, which allows guys to not have to do more than they're capable of. We tell our guys all the time, just learn what your job is and figure out how to do that better than anybody, and we'll be really, really successful on defense. So we always kind of try to force teams to play laterally and get all of our guys rallying to the football. And that's what last year's group did such a good job of, is you'd see interior defensive linemen making tackles on the sideline because they had this mentality that their effort was going to be relentless for 48 minutes.
And how much of that do you need to reinforce right now in camp before the season starts? Like, how much does that work pay off as the season starts?
Well, the biggest thing is getting in really good shape, because if you're not in good shape, you don't have the opportunity to do that for 48 minutes. And I think that was a downfall to us last year, in the fact that our starters didn't ever have to play a full game until that Westland game, and we saw it from a conditioning standpoint, and we're not going to have that luxury this year. So our focus this year has been getting into really, really good shape. Our weight program and conditioning stuff has been really good. And then getting guys to learn their schemes and their jobs, and I think we can be really successful.
The Sheldon Irish play in Special District 1, the Southwestern Conference. It's Tyler Martell, the head coach, joining us on the Danny and Justin radio program here for a Tuesday. So, Coach, when you start getting that mentality ingrained in the team, I think any successful program at any level has the empowerment and the engagement from the players. So how does that work for you, and how can you determine when the players themselves start to take ownership of the program and help you as other coaches out on the field?
It's about having really strong culture, and we've been fortunate to have that. And what we're working on now, because we lost so many guys, it's been our emphasis all offseason, is getting good leadership. And talk about good leadership is about taking guys on a voyage with you, going somewhere and bringing others with you. And, kind of the rising tide lifts all boats. So good leaders develop good followers, and that's what we need.
And you mentioned you just have so many positions that you need to replace in terms of guys that have experience. How do you kind of balance putting a guy in a position when he hasn't really done it before and building confidence for guys over the course of the season, whether or not they have that experience or not?
I think for us, the approach has been not to try to overload them with information too fast. And like I said, it kind of goes into our philosophy of keeping things pretty simple, because what I don't want them to have to do is think a whole bunch on a Friday night. Is they have been repped into what their job is, as basic as it is, and then they can just go out and have fun. And Friday nights are really, really fun.
Coach, is there any kind of undue, or I wouldn't want to say subliminal, pressure on you in this program? Because Sheldon football has been kind of a stalwart and known throughout the state of Oregon, the history. And you've got some of that as well. Marty Johnson's on your staff, Curtis White, Scott Wright, guys like that. So is there any kind of, I don't want to say pressure, but is there any kind of expectation level on your program because of that history?
Well, I think there is pressure, and I think pressure is a good thing, because pressure means that people expect things of you. And so if we didn't feel pressure, I think that would be a bad thing. But you're right. It makes my job really easy because of the coaching staff that we have. You talked about guys like Marty Johnson and Jordan Johnson and Scott Wright and Les Phillippa. All those guys have been here for so long that we don't have to go and reteach our coaches what we want done. Everyone knows exactly what we're trying to do with everything. So it makes it easy from that standpoint. I don't have to try to do too much on the field. I have to do a lot of stuff behind the scenes. I'm folding jerseys, but on the field, I don't have to micromanage anybody. Jordan Johnson has full reign of our offense, and you saw the points we put up last year and the points he's put up the last few years as our offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
It's impressive. So he makes it easy to be the defensive coordinator because of how prolific our offense does, and that's because he and his dad do such an amazing job.
So you just kind of let that go, and you just kind of let them do their thing, and you just concentrate on the D side of the ball?
100%. And special teams are the same way. If you've watched Sheldon football over the last 25 years, our special teams has won us a ton of games, and Scott Wright has full reign over that. I mean, last year we played Sprague in the league championship game, week 9, and we got the ball. We stopped them at the end of the half. We got the ball back, and Montecurioti ran it. We flipped it out to Brody Thomas. He took it 80-plus yards for a touchdown. And I can't remember who asked me after the game. They said, hey, did you think about taking a knee there and just going into the half? And I said, Jordan Johnson has that. I never thought about it twice. And that's true, which I think is really counter to what a lot of people do. But because my name is the head coach of this thing, I don't, in terms of the football stuff, I don't do any more than I've always done.
And that includes washing and folding the practice uniforms and regular game day uniforms. Tyler Martell, the head coach of the Sheldon Irish, joining us on the Danny and Justin show here, the fastest 60 minutes in sports in Newport and Eugene on Fox Sports. So, Coach, I don't want to get too political here, but it comes up every year, and it seems to have come up in the last 5 years. With at the 6A level, there's the haves and the have-nots, and then in the postseason, the OSAA decided several years ago, and this came through the athletic directors and coaches got to weigh in on it as well. In the postseason, it kind of splits. Top 16, bottom 16 to 32, or I think it's 16 to 24 get to play as well in what they call now, again, the Columbia Cup. Your thoughts on that? Because I have my own thoughts on, I think as much that the kids can play and keep playing no matter what the record is, even if they got a chance at 2-7 to do something in the postseason, I think they should be given that opportunity. What's your thought?
It's hard because you're right. I'm kind of torn because I think making the postseason should be really, really special.
Okay.
And I think the OSA continues to tinker with what is the right way to get kids those opportunities that we want kids to have. It's what high school athletics is all about. It's about suiting up with your buddy on a Friday night. And so the more opportunities we can give kids to do that, I think is really neat. But I also think it should mean something. So I don't know. I don't think there's a right answer. If it was, it would have been dealt with years and years ago. But I think that, I don't know, do you do a +1 model where you take your top 8 or 12 teams for the play for the championship and give everyone kind of a bowl game scenario? I don't know. We could sit and have that debate over and over and over. That's a cup of coffee deal, I think. But I don't know if there's a right answer or not.
Yeah, and the thing is I've been on the fence about it for a long time, but I got to call that North-South game last year, and I'll tell you what, it was a fantastic football game, and those two teams wouldn't have had necessarily the opportunity to play that football game if they wouldn't have been in that bracket. So that's where I kind of fall. It kind of I like a sheet in the wind. I keep going back and forth on the whole deal, so I'm with you there, Coach. So as we wind things up and as you get ready for this season, is there a point in either the season, whether it's in fall camp that you're in now, even though it's in the summertime, or off-season workouts, or if it's during the season, that a team starts to build an identity for you? Does it happen early on? Is it different with each team? And then I'll ask you about this year's team in that respect.
I don't know if there's that magic aha moment. Like, I always have preached to our guys, and our coaches have for a long time around here. It's not about individual success. It's about the success of the Irish. It's not about one guy scoring touchdowns. It's about us scoring touchdowns. So the sooner I can see that from our guys where they legitimately feel really good about their teammates' success, then I know we're going to be pretty dang good. It's where guys start getting selfish. And luckily, we haven't had a bunch of those guys over the last couple decades. We've had a bunch of guys who are really, really selfless, which makes it really fun to be here every day.
What do you want to see at Sherwood in that jamboree out of your team, because they are so young and in a lot of positions untested?
Well, the hard thing about going to a place like Sherwood, and I don't know who's up at that jam.
Yep. We lost you, Coach. He's in the washing
can you
machine.
hear me?
Yeah, now we got you. I thought you were there changing from the washer to the dryer there. Go ahead.
Yeah, how to get the practice pants in there. No, I think going up to a place like Sherwood in the Jamboree, I just want to see guys execute their job. And it'll be hard because when you face a team like Sherwood, I don't know who else is in that Jamboree, but Sherwood runs such a unique offense that you would take a full week plus to prepare for that to be successful. And in the fall, we spend our time worrying about us getting better at our jobs. So that's what I'm looking to is can guys execute their responsibility, not us go out and score X number of touchdowns in a jamboree or score or shut down our opponents. I want to see guys get game action against somebody else and fly around and do their job and try to get some guys some opportunities. But at the end of the day, we got to be healthy coming out of it.
Tyler Martell, the head coach of the Sheldon Irish, you get to see them at home. Their first home game will be all the way in the latter part of September, the 19th against North Medford. Start out at the Jamboree in Sherwood, and then on the road against Laco, and then West Salem on the road, starting league play on the 12th of September. Coach, always a pleasure catching up with you. We look forward to catching up as well during the season, and have a great 2025.
Hey, I appreciate you guys having me on, and come out to Luds Field and watch the Irish play this fall.
Absolutely. I can. Justin's stuck in the studio, but I can do it if I can. Yeah, you bet.
We'll get you that VIP pass. We'll get you on the sideline.
Attaboy, right. I love that. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate you.
All right, guys. We'll talk soon.
There he goes. Yep. The great Tyler Martell, head coach of the Sheldon Irish football program, as they start out, as I said, on the 29th of August. That's the end of this month at the Jamboree in Sherwood. And then big, tough matchup on the 5th of September at Lake Oswego.
Yep, that'll be a fun one.
You want to talk about just going right out of the gates with a powerhouse matchup. Be a great game up there at Laco. All right, when we come back, we'll talk NCAA basketball. Yes, we're going to talk a little basketball. Justin's got a gripe. We're going to listen to it. Yes, we're going to let you rant for a little while.
All right.
And then what do you want to do with the rest of your summer? Is there one thing you want to do that you haven't done yet? We'll talk about that when we return. Danny and Justin. Fox Sports Eugene and Newport, the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. Danny and Justin, the fastest 60 minutes in sports as we head down the home stretch. Baby Jay's going to leave me for 3 days. Going to head up to the Great North in Alaska.
The last frontier.
He's not getting married, but he's going to be in a wedding. So he'll be standing there looking all prim and proper. Plenty of pictures, please.
Yes, and I will be taking pictures as well.
Oh, that's right. Well, you have that talent. Hey, you want to buy a home in South Eugene? I've got the person for you. Susan Heisey, the principal broker and owner of Bailey & Heisey. She's been doing it for over 20 years, specializing in South Eugene. And there's a 4-point plan for you to be able to own a house in South Eugene. Or maybe you want to sell your house in Eugene. Maybe you want to upsize or downsize. Susan doesn't carry a whole lot of inventory, so she'll give you the personal attention that you need, kind of walk you through the process. And I'm not going to tell you what the 4 steps are. You need to call her, and she'll walk them through for you. 541-520-2246. 541-520-2246. Susan at Heisey Homes. So it's Heisey. Pretty easy to remember. Heisey Homes. Ask her as well. Ask her about Daisy. I'm not going to say who Daisy is, but ask about Daisy. Okay? There you go. Heisey Homes. One of the good friends of the program here. So, let's talk about the NCAA tournament first. The proposal was floated and has been floated to expand the current 68-team field in the NCAA men's basketball tournament to either 72 or 76. What this would do, it was actually would add more play-in games. I have a path where I think it might work, although I am not in favor of further diluting the field. I think actually Tyler Martell just brought up a pretty good point with high school football is the playoff should be a reward for a good season. So let's not dilute it. And I'm putting words in Coach Martell's mouth. He didn't say the word dilute or such, but, and I expressed where I'm on the fence. I'd never asked your opinion on this, whether or not you have an opinion on the whole 6A.
Oh, me and an opinion? I certainly have those. No, I think that I'm like that. I agree with Tyler with what he said about making the playoffs should be a special thing, and I kind of agree with that in all sports. I think back to my favorite sport, baseball, where it used to be one team from each league would make the playoffs, and they'd play in the World Series, and how special it meant for you to actually just win the pennant.
So were you against? Something. So were you against moving the NCAA field from 64 to 68 when they had the
I wasn't in favor
games?
of it. No, I wasn't in favor of it. I think it's fine. I think if it
the
was
first
I
4,
I could do without it. I mean, it's fine. I mean, there's some exciting games. We've seen, I believe it was Dayton that had a pretty nice run from the first 4. But what I don't understand is I think it's so unfair for those teams that are the 11 seeds to be playing against another 11 seed to just make the tournament.
Why don't we just put all the bubble teams?
That's what I'm saying. If it should be the bubble teams, like the 16 seeds. I believe it's 2 16s and then 2 11s or something like that. Something like that, where the 2 of the teams are not bubble teams. They're straight mid-seed teams, and that's why I think it's super
some of
unfair.
them won their own conference championship or tournament championships.
I think it's totally unfair to have them play this extra first 4 games. So I wasn't in favor of that, and I'm not in favor of expanding it anymore, and there's a number of reasons why.
So I used to be a fan of the NIT because mostly because some of the teams I was rooting for never would make the NCAA tournament, but they were just outside looking in. I was not in favor of going from 64 to 68. Because we had the NIT. And I figured, you know what? You got the 64. If you either make the 64, if you don't, if you're a 20-11 team that just missed it, you go win the NIT and go to New York City, which is great because they actually, at that time, were still playing like a third-place game, which I absolutely love, by the way. I really wish we would get back to the third-place game. I know all the reasons for not having a third-place game. It's like, you just missed out on playing the championship game, who cares, or whatever. It's another game, okay? It's the warm-up to the championship game. I think it would be awesome to have that back. NIT used to do that.
So the NIT used to do. Did the
NIT,
tournament ever
Madison
used to do
Square?
it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the tournament
NCAA
ever
tournament,
did.
okay.
I'd have to go way, way back. I mean, not in my recent memory.
Sure.
So going all the way back to the '60s.
I didn't think so.
So Madison Square Garden for the NIT, I mean, it was like the mecca of basketball.
Right.
It was awesome, and the kids look forward to doing it, but it's kind of gone away. I mean, I don't even know anymore why. And the reason it went away is because the NCAA kind of washed over the top of it, and there's no money to be made on it. There's no good TV partner for it, and that's what it comes down to. And that's why it's inevitable that we're going to have 76 teams in the NCAA tournament, because they are going to extend the tournament, or they're going to push the games forward and have 8 games being played on a Tuesday of the tournament.
This is just where I think about what could be lost in terms of. I'm going to equate this to something in baseball.
Okay.
So one of my most favorite moments that could happen in baseball was when a pitcher would hit a home run. And most of the time when the pitcher would come up, it wouldn't be exciting. There's more strategy involved, in my opinion. They'd bunt it, or they would obviously have to try to make contact, or it'd be an automatic out, basically.
Yeah.
But whenever they would hit that home run, it was the most exciting thing in the game, and it was one of those moments that even as like a fan, you could kind of relate of, you're not doing your actual job you're supposed to be doing, but hey, you're out there hitting a home run, just like the guy that we talked about yesterday that came out of the stands, right, and hit a double, and then
Dixie
took a walk and then
Dixie
and then hit a 2-run homer. So my point is that in the NCAA tournament, one of the most exciting things is when you have a 1 seed or a 2 seed that loses in the first round. And yes, it hasn't happened very often. I think it's really like a handful of times, especially the 2 seeds, though, where those teams can get upset more frequently. We've seen 1 seeds, though. And I just think about, we're losing this. We've already started to lose this with the lack of upsets and how chalk things were last year. Believe me, I know, because we graded all the brackets, and there's a lot of pretty chalk brackets. So I just think that with the devaluation of the regular season, how you're increasing this field to make these first-round games then just completely meaningless, in my opinion. I mean, you're never going to see upsets, especially with those top teams. Sure, there's going to be more of those middling teams. They're going to have matchups, and those could be potentially more exciting, I guess. But I'm just not a favor of it. I just think that we have the NCAA tournament is the one sport that I think we definitely figured it out that we don't need to change. It's just we know how exciting this is. We've seen it year in and year out. Why do we need to change it?
So my question to you is, who won the 2025 NIT?
I don't know.
There you go.
I couldn't tell you. Why does that matter?
Chattanooga. Okay, so that's why I'm saying, one, I don't know why we have the tournament still, and it's not in New York anymore. The final this year,
about the NIT.
I kind of liked it because of where they finished and where they ended up in New York. And Chattanooga won it last year, just so you know, and they were 29-9 after going through. So not a bad team, but because and they beat UC Irvine 85-84, and probably one of the closest games that they've had in recent memory in the NIT. But it's in Indianapolis as well. And again, we love Indianapolis. We were there. It's great. It's a great venue. It's a great city. It's a great sports city. But it's like there's no juice to the NIT anymore. Sure. So that's where I can see as well, if you get rid of the NIT and you expand the NCAA to 76 teams, I would be more in favor of that than anything else, instead of expanding to 76 and then having all these other tournaments still going on.
Well,
just have one tournament.
Because there's also what is that one called with the you have to pay
it's
for
the
money?
Crown tournament
Something
in
like
Vegas. And I mean, Oregon State was in that tournament.
Right.
The Crown Classic or whatever they called it down there. I mean, they had the CBA and they had the CIT and all these things over the years.
You just think, to me at least, and maybe not some of the bigger schools, maybe not even a school like Oregon or even Oregon State, but the teams that basically it's such a big deal for them to make the tournament even. And I just think it gets cheapened if you're adding like double the teams almost.
Yeah, but see, that's where I go back and forth to a team like Chattanooga. If they would have had 6 more spots, they probably would have made the tournament.
But yeah, so Chattanooga gets to say they made the tournament, and it's also
they go in and pull an upset.
The I don't know what team they would have been, but they were like the 70th team to make it. Like,
but see, you're looking at it from the overall perspective, because I'm looking at it from the school.
With that?
There is not a problem. I didn't say there's a problem with that. I'm saying you're looking at it from the overall. But if you're an athlete, or if you're at that school, or you're that fan base, then it does mean something to you. And that's where
it will. I mean, it will mean something to those individuals, I guess. I struggle. I know it does. I mean, you're right about that. I just struggle to just again, I think it dilutes it. I think it cheapens it a little bit.
Well, so I mean, we could have gone all the way back where there was only 32 teams in the NCAA tournament because there were that many basketball programs back early in the day in the late 1930s when the Webfoots won the first championship for college basketball.
Do you know how many programs there are now? I don't actually know off the top of my head.
I would imagine there's probably 150 or something like that. Something like that.
So we're talking about having half of those teams.
Yeah, it's like the NHL playoffs.
Like that just.
I know you roll your eyes.
I don't want too many. I'm not. See, I'm also not the big bowl games person. Like everybody loves the bowl games.
Not everybody. Let's not put everybody. I don't like.
Fair enough. But I'm like just so past it with the. I don't want to watch the
the Poinsettia Bowl?
I don't want to even say the names I usually say because they're usually really tongue-in-cheek.
The Rah-Rah Cereal Bowl?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's presented by Rob Gronkowski or whatever.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
Snoop Dogg. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, we had a Snoop Dogg Bowl this year. I remember that. A big bowl. All right, so we got a little bit of summer left. Mm-hmm. You're going up to Alaska this week. So is that going to be your bucket list for the rest of the summer? Is there something else you wanted to do that you think you can still squeeze in before the end of summer?
Not my bucket list. It's certainly on my budget list, though, for things that I've been doing. No, I mean, I'm just saying it's I'm
you been to the beach
putting
yet?
a lot of effort there. I have not been to the beach this summer, but I have been on the river. I did that a couple weekends ago, so I at least checked that off the list. I would love to do that another time, to go out and just kind of be on the water again. It's always my mom was making fun of me. She doesn't think I like the outdoors at all, which is sort of true. But at the same time, it is nice to get out there and just enjoy the sun and be on the water and have a beverage, kind of do your thing. I would love to go on a hike, though. I haven't gone on a hike this year and done any legitimate hiking. Maybe that's something I could go do in Alaska.
Spencer's Butte. You can take a hike up there.
Spencer's Butte. It's great. It's beautiful around here. There's tons of hike around here that I would love to. I mean, I know some of them, but I would love to hear some of the real locals around here that have been here forever. They would tell me.
I'm headed to the water. I'm headed to the beach in a few weeks with taking the son, the daughter-in-law, my daughter, granddaughter, wife. We're gonna get a big house.
You know what else we need to do?
What?
We need to do a grill out with a Cubs game before they're just completely infuriating.
I am literally open almost every time except for the rest of August.
Well, there you go.
So I've got plenty. There's a few weekends you can cram in there, but I have not been to the ocean yet. I don't believe. My wife's going to correct me if I'm wrong.
Going to the coast?
I have not been to the coast this year.
I have not been to the
summer.
coast this summer either. So I think we definitely
have tried to plan a couple of. No, you know what? I take that back. We did. We went to Florence one time. It was a real quick trip, and it was actually a little bit cold, but it was still enjoyable. But we're going to go up in between Waldport and Newport. We're going to spend some time in Newport, and we love Waldport, Yachats area down there, and we love Newport as well. So the coast, the water beckons, and that's my bucket list for the summertime. So I'm going to be able to knock that off the list.
Oh, a joke!
I got fired from the bank today. A woman asked me to check her balance, so I pushed her.
Dad jokes!
Baby J, I invented a new word.
Oh, what word is it?
Plagiarism.
Ah, of course you did. Yes, you did. Never heard that one before.
All right, kids. Well, we're going to send Baby J off into the sunset. You're not going to see or hear from him for the rest of this week. He will be on a big jet airliner from Portland to Fairbanks. So look out, Fairbanks. All of our fans up in Fairbanks, look out. Baby J is arriving.
There's a few of them. There's a few.
Okay. And then I'll be solo for the rest of the week because Goose is out of town as well. So y'all are abandoning me. So I got to do the show the rest of the week by myself. So thanks.
Well, I think I can listen in on Thursday. I'm going to be driving down Fairbanks from Anchorage. Or to Anchorage from Fairbanks.
So if anybody wants to see a train wreck in motion, go ahead and listen to the program for the rest of the week because that's what's going to happen.
No. It'll be fun.
Tomorrow on the program, it's Mustang. Isaac Streeter going to join me. And then out at Laurelwood on Thursday. Friday, surprise guest. I got something good for you on Friday. So tune in for that. Tune in all week long. If you can't catch us live, catch us on the podcast, wherever you pod. Have fun up there, Baby Jake.
Thank you.
Okay, travel safe back and forth. Put a smile on your face, someone else's episode of you. God bless. Thanks for listening. For Justin, I'm Danny. Peace.